No to Addiction speaking here. And today's video, we're going to discuss my alcohol addiction, how I finally became sober. If you're new here or you already been here, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video, man. So, basically, I'm going to give you a little backdrop on how I had an alcohol addiction, how I was addicted to alcohol. And then I'm going to tell you the process about how I became sober in its entirety. So now basically, just to give a little recap, because I've made a couple videos about this before. Basically, the first videos when the first time was I was just young, just drinking like my first drink was like a Cisco. I was always drinking all the time and basically drinking just about every day, drinking like hard liquor every day. I get to the point where I'll be at work thinking about where my next drink is coming from. I always wanted to drink on everything I did in my life. Everything I wanted, everything I did in my life, I had to do it drinking. I had to drink tea. I had to watch TV drinking. I had to play video games drinking. I had to chill on the porch just drinking, just by myself. Anything I was doing had to involve or be incorporated with drinking. So it was like I had integrated it within every facet of my life. So at that point in time, it was just so strong. It had a stronghold on my life that I just couldn't really see myself living without it. So that can become really hard because going day to day and then on top of that working but end up losing jobs and end up collecting a lot of points and end up having to lose a job because of point system and not attendance is because I was hungover or I just didn't feel good enough to go to work. So I just called out and the points added up. I was good at my jobs, but the drinking would end up messing everything up for me because I just didn't want to give it up. I was trying to feel like I was a functioning alcoholic, but they ended up clashing. So I felt like everything was good. I would go to work even when I'm somewhat hungover because I used to drink when I used to get off from 11 to 7. Yeah, I used to drink then and then drink from 7 to 3:30 and then try to take a nap before I had to go back into work the next day. I was doing that for a little while, but that ended up catching up with me. So I had my next job end up messing me up that way because just wasn't feeling good enough. So the perpetual cycle of doing that and working and trying to incorporate that, and then there's the attitude changes with me. I had so many attitude changes. It was just so many different versions of me when I was drinking this substance. When I was drinking this substance, you either get the really nice me or you get the really mean me, as I've mentioned before. And the thing is, when it comes down to that, the very bad me was to the point where I was just taking on situations that had nothing to do with me, shaking hands with people that I shouldn't have been shaking hands with, hanging out with people I shouldn't have been hanging with, saying things to people I should have never said, and getting into meaningless altercations just because I'm feeling myself. I'm on the whole juice, even though I can back up the words that I speak. It just wasn't the place or time or even situation that had anything to do with me, because the thing is, the type of stronghold this addiction had on me when I was drinking the juice, it's just nothing seemed wrong. Nothing really seemed real. I got to the point where that I would get into this alternate reality, almost where everything just isn't real. And I would just function like that, like there's no consequences or nothing like that. Good thing I haven't done anything that would cause long lasting consequences while I was addicted, while I was under the influence of this substance. But that's just a miracle right there in and of itself, because of the way I was doing it. I was constantly putting myself on the forefront of being able to have do something to the point where I would end up having like lasting consequences from drinking this substance. So the thing is, I just, even with my really nice me, I didn't really, I was just making too many friends with people I shouldn't have been being friends with. People that I know I wouldn't talk to if I was sober, know I wouldn't socialize with. If I was so being places that I wouldn't really want to be sober, like the clubs and stuff like that. I noticed that I don't really necessarily like going to clubs and going out and all that, because now that I tried to do it when I became sober, it just doesn't feel the same. I'm looking around like I don't even belong, which I really don't, because in reality, I don't really like it there. I don't really like being there. So the person that it changed me into, it was like a whole nother character. It was like a whole another person to me. It was really nice me or really bad mean me. And the people that was with me had to either deal with the people I was with, because me, I had my homies that I knew from the day one. So good thing I wasn't able to like go way off the ringer, because it was seldom times where I would go out by myself, but I would end up beating up or linking up with my homies. So a lot of that, a lot of the stuff that could have been done was like this kind of, it's kind of safeguarded, except because they was there too, So thank God that I had my homies. I give them that. Definitely give them that, because they kept me out of a lot of situations, had my back on a lot of situations that I started because of being under this influence and stuff, or trying to protect girls, trying to protect them, or if I feel like there's an altercation coming, I would escalate it, even though they're de-escalating the situation. You see what I mean? I was the one that was, yeah, pretty much was a mess starter. I was starting a lot of mess. So being able to admit that and turn into the character that I was, and stuff like that, I can't say that I didn't have some really, really fun times while under the substance. So, but at the same time, I could have had fun as well. So leading to that, now that you guys got like a little bit of backdrop about how I was when I was drinking and being under the influence of this substance sometimes on a daily basis. And another thing too was losing the days that I can never get back, spent sick, hugging the toilet, trying to recover from the one night of fun. One night of heavy drinking cost me about 2 days per week. So I lost a whole lot of days in those years just from just trying to recover, sitting in there just, and then watching catch and cook videos just to try to satisfy the appetite that I would have, because I couldn't eat. So I couldn't eat. So I watched catch and cook videos or food videos to try to satisfy my hunger that I couldn't physically satisfy, but I was trying to psychologically satisfy the hunger, because I couldn't keep anything down. So that was one thing that I would do too. So basically watching something that I can't have, window shopping without a buck. So that's another thing too. But here's the great part though. Here's the great part. Because now, since I got to the alcohol, and now that everything I did that was considered fun to me was done under the influence of that substance, now that when I finally stopped, the whole stopping point for me was, I said before, I left the club with these dudes that I wasn't supposed to be hanging with. Even though my homie knew them, but those are his homies. Even though we talked a little bit at the club before we left, but it is not like, what I'm saying. I don't really know this guy like that, but I'm riding with him to the next club that we was going to, because some of my homies was going to, but I could have rode with them, but I decided to ride with him because of whatever, under that substance, just doing stuff, talking, willing and dealing, and just ended up going. So what I would do, I was going with him, and I was trying to ask him to pay my way. And he was talking about, he said he'll pay my way to get in the club, which we all say, you sit up there, I had money in my pocket, but I was trying to get him to pay my way. And I was just doing extra stuff, And I got mad at him because a girl wanted him to go with them, but I said, no, you ain't going with them, you going with us. I was hung up on that. Since he wouldn't go, what I did, I stormed off in the night, and I was walking in the empty parking lots and whatever. And I sat at McDonald's, went live on Facebook for a while saying, nobody will talk to me. I tried to knock at their door, but what happened with that is they didn't let me in. They were just sitting there looking, they gave me the basic treatment kind of. So I didn't like that. So I stormed off from there. I wasn't finna sit there and try to vandalize the property or nothing like that. But a piece of me did want to. I sat there in there trying to get that, but it didn't happen. I was trying to use their phone. I guess I didn't have a signal or something like that. So I walked around. I was I walked off and I went into this parking lot, and I was just laying face down. I just got mad and just started laying face down the concrete. Like, dang, I can't stand it. But I was cussing the whole way when I was walking there. I was just cursing out, just cursing everybody. The hell with Duval, F everybody here, and all, the works. So I was going in. I was going ham about that, man. But I ended up just laying face down on the concrete, just mad, 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 crying, and just angry with myself, because I'm just so overwhelmed with this substance that it destroyed me. I was just so mad. I was just angry because I just couldn't have my way. I was tired of all this, tired of just, I was really more just tired of going through this over and over again with myself. Like, why am I out here? Why am I doing this? So it was a combination of that. I was mad about the guy, but I was more mad at myself at that point in time. So I came down from that. That's what really the meat and the potatoes of the whole situation was. That's what the whole bottom line to the situation was. So, after I went live on Facebook, which is why dropping your location and all that other stuff like that is kind of like something that it's just something to be cautious about, because somebody ended up driving around and finding where I was. Good thing it was a friend trying to help me out, but it was a guy that was watching my other YouTube channel, and he ended up finding where I was. I was laying down, and he saw me. I saw a car pulling up, and he saw me. He was like, "Oh man, I'm just drunk. I'm mad. I'm mad." He was like, I know. I just came over there." And he ended up. I was trying to tell him I was trying to call the Uber, but I didn't have any signal. That's what happened. I was trying to call the Uber, and I ain't had no signal. I know I'm kind of getting off. I'm gonna get into the sober part soon, because this is very important. This is the turning point of what made me actually quit drinking in the first place. So I mean, quit drinking like once and for all. So I did that, and he picked me up, and man, like we walked to the car. Turns out he used to work at the other hospital I used to work at, because he had on his scrubs. So I'm guessing he just getting off work. And he saw my Facebook live that I went live when I was sitting in front of McDonald's, mad at the world, trying to knock on the McDonald's, but they wouldn't let me use the phone. So he saw that live. I was on live for like 10 minutes, just pouring my heart out and all kind of stuff. People was worried about me, checking on me, all kind of stuff. The works. Ended up taking me all the way home. Didn't charge me a buck for gas, nothing like that. He just said, "Stay up, man. Keep making the videos. Better than this." I will never forget that guy. I will never forget that guy. He definitely saved me that night. I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have spent the night out there if it wasn't for him. Because I had the Uber, but it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't call. It wouldn't call for me. I wouldn't. The signal wouldn't go through, and I didn't feel like walking anywhere else. I already walked about a mile from the club from where I was. So anyway, after that was all said and done, and I woke up the next day and thought about what this was, and thought about how that did me, and where I was, and the situation I put myself in, and it's tired of the perpetual cycle I was putting myself to, because I was drinking this substance just for a little bit of fun, but all this a few minutes of fun, but a few days and weeks and more weeks of torment. That's what this pretty much caused me. But now, here's the great part. For real this time. For real this time. No more side stories. It's when I actually became sober. That's the day I decided I'm done with this. I'm completely done with this. So I gave it up finally, but it was kind of the cold turkey thing. Because before this last time right here, I did quit before. I had a couple relapses before this final time. But after this, I was through. I'm talking about out of all the times I ever got drunk, I never lay on the ground. So I got sober, finally quit. But the thing was, it was so hard because I was so bored, which is why I was relapsed in the past. I was just so bored. So I had to find a way to fill that void. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand about this addiction here is, oh, thanks, getting dry. Piping hot cup of coffee. I'm trying to drink too much though. The thing about this addiction here is that once you find yourself being extremely bored, you have to fill that void. That's the main thing. Yeah, I had to fill that void. So having fun for me was very, very hard at this point in time, because remember, I had integrated this substance and incorporated this substance into every facet of my life. So everything that I would deem or perceive as fun was only done under the influence of this substance. So I had to make that separation psychologically in my head, that I could have fun without this. And that took about, I ain't gonna lie, to me to eat too. And it wasn't really craving wise. I didn't really have any cravings after like 2 weeks for me. It was more of the boredom and filling the void that was left there, because every facet of my life was mostly done under the influence. So I had to get used to living normally without being there. So I had to pretty much reprogram my brain. And with each day, it got easier with each day. Just a small smidget. It's a smidget. It took me about a year, almost about a year completely, that I was able to. And then after that, about a year and some change, I finally got over that. Like, okay, I'm good. I can have fun. I'm not thinking about, if I want to have fun, I need to have a drink now. So, because I was basically busy just working and just working and working. And I was good because, I didn't have anything that can block me from working. I was a great worker, great worker. The only thing that ever stopped me was attendance in the past. It was never because of my job or my work ethic, anything. They praised me at my job. They really liked me there. They love my work ethic. I'm a really great worker. Just keep it a buck. Anything I do, I try to excel. So that was never the problem. So now that that vice is going, I'm not drinking anymore. That was the only thing that was stopping me. So I lasted very, very long there, very, very long there. Still there now. So now that I was so busy, I didn't have any time out, but I was at the same time, that was a little downtime, the free time. So to fill the void, I found the things that I wanted to have fun, that was fun to me before. I would create music. I thought I couldn't do that without drinking, but I was able to do that without drinking and actually had the same fun that I was having my jam sessions. I was listening to beats. Now I'm actually able to still have fun and do that. I'm actually able to have fun playing video games without being drunk anymore. I just like, understand the stuff that you already have fun doing while you're under the influence of the substance is stuff that you already would like to do anyway. So you wouldn't know that because you feel like you got to be drunk to do all this. Because you put yourself in that mind. I separated myself from reality. Everything was about the substance. And the time that I spent when I was sober was either just for business, just to work, and then just to get back to it. It was never just like that. Either I was that or I was hungover. But the most of the fun time was done while I was drinking. So I had to undo that. It took a while for me to undo that because it was years of that. But it took me 1 year to get over that and some change. And now I finally got that happiness I had like as a child, like as like have like a field trip tomorrow. You know it's like a field trip tomorrow, or you know that y'all gonna have a fun day or something at school tomorrow, and you know that you have an overwhelming feeling in your stomach. That, oh man, that excitement. I finally got that back. Finally got that back after so long of being tainted by this substance, always just relying on that just to get that little bit of feeling that nowhere near as great as my natural feeling of actually being excited about something, actually being excited about having fun to do something, actually looking forward to doing something. So I finally got my childhood uh happiness back, my excitement back. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the best way I can explain it. Knowing that you have a field trip tomorrow that you've been waiting for a long time, or a fun day or something, or it's Christmas the next day and you're going to get some presents. That excitement you had as a child, I finally got that back and I'm proud of that. It took me a while, so I finally became sober, guys, and that's worth it to me. That's really worth it to me. Even though the fun that I was having before wasn't on that level, now everything is on that level. Everything is lit for me now. I don't need no drink to have fun. Give me a Diet Coke or whatever and just chill. Have me just relax. I can have fun now. I don't need no drink. They can drink around me. They can have all kinds of drinks around me, and I won't take nothing. I don't even want nothing anymore. Even if I smell it or if it's near to I can pass me, I can say no without any problems at all, or even want to drink it. So it took so long, guys, to get to that. But that year felt like forever. But once you take that step, it might not take a year for you. It might take different for you. Everybody has different vices, but that's just me. So I just wanted to share with you guys about my alcohol addiction story just a bit and how I became sober and the process that it took. And that's in its entirety for you guys. So if you're enjoying the content, if it resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, go to click that like button, go to comment, go to subscribe, click that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a video. Remember, guys, anybody can come sober if you're willing to work at it, if you're willing to take the steps to do it. If you need any help, you have people around you, you have hotlines you can call. But remember, you're not alone when it comes to this addiction. I'm out.